Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ilyas Chaudhary. I'm part of the Core Services Engineering group in Microsoft. I'm an engineering manager, and I'm joined by my colleague Azharuddin Mohammed. Today, we are talking about how do we create a self-service bot using the QnA Maker and AI. So what we are going to look at is something which has been running in production today in one of our applications, which is built and deployed on Dynamics 365 customer service or customer engagement, as we call it. The application is known as OneFinance, and we have the global users of OneFinance using it from across the regions. We will talk about what OneFinance is and what is the business scenario. Why was there a need for the bot? And then how did we implement it? How did we train it with most of the bot scenarios? I think the catch is how do you train your bot and the QnA Maker. And then lastly, we'll have a good hands-on demo, which will talk about the actual use case. So OneFinance, as I said, it's been used by most of our finance operations or the support team. We have active users of around 1,150 agents. This keeps on changing based on the time of the year and the time of the financial quarters. It is being used across 8 countries, and then we have more than 200 legal entities in the finance and the operations world which are using it. Now, the basic use case of this application is most of the times when users, and these users are external plus internal users. So think about our customers and partners when they have a question on the financial contract or the invoices or the payroll, or our internal employees who have questions around their pay stubs or benefits, anything around financial scenarios. These questions come to our finance operations team who are using Dynamics 365 in the backend, which is powered by customer engagement. Let me transfer that, move over to Azhar, who will talk about the actual use case and the scenario.
Thanks, Ilyas. How many people here have actually worked with bots before? All right, quite. How many would like to make sure they have bots, right? Cool. So we know the basic use of bots is to reduce the manual work done by users. And you would want to have the system take over the work and be efficient, right? So think of this scenario. In this case, in the demo, what we're going to see is, as Ilyas mentioned, OneFinance is a Dynamics 365 instance for anything internal Microsoft, anything to do with your budgeting questions, anything to do with your payment related, anything to do with expenses. There are about 3 million tickets that we get in a year by users inside Microsoft and outside Microsoft. Our goal was to reduce 30% of this 3 million, about 2,030,000, something like that, by using the bot. And we did it. And I'm going to actually show you how it is easy to set up a bot from scratch and make it much, much easier. One of the key scenarios that I'm going to explain to you is the knowledge base management. How many people in their company have knowledge base articles which are never been updated? People go and cry about, hey, how do I update this documentation? And even if you have updated, people still come back and say, I didn't get the answer what I was looking for in the KB article, so I would rather open a ticket, right? So we see that scenario a lot. So what we did in OneFinance was to actually take the ticketing information of these 3 million tickets, convert them into what are the most basic questions our users are asking in the ticket. Because each ticket is a cost to the company. The more tickets you get created, the more people are sitting and doing the job, which shouldn't be the case, right? You should not have a lot of tickets. So what we did was took the CRM, which we're already on CRM, took the Azure bot service, connected it with something called as QnA Maker. How many people know what's QnA Maker here? All right, few of them. So just to give you a heads up, QnA Maker is a simple way of asking questions and getting the answers. Simple questions, simple answer. Think of it as a tutor. You ask a question, you get a specific answer. In a knowledge base article, you have to go and open the Word document, do a Control F, find that keyword, and that might not be the answer. You might see 100 results for the same word, and you have to still scroll down. However, the bot will give you, and we'll see in the demo, a specific answer to your specific question. The user just goes away, right? You want the users to come, find the information, let them go. So we did this scenario. Before we jump into the demo, quick look at the architecture. So I've got users who come from multiple different channels. So the bot is just one channel. The other channels are portals. Cortana, they can actually pick up the phone and say, hey, Cortana, I want to know the status of this PO. I want to know where is my expense report, right? These channels go and connect to the bot framework, and then which is internally connecting to a bot service on Azure. When you have this connectivity, it goes to the One Finance, which is basically a CRM application. And the best part is we also have integrated with our SAP system, because all the data for your invoices, everything sits in SAP or any of your ERP system that you would have. We build up the API on top of the SAP for ability to pull that information and give it back into the bot. And then what you do is you use the QnA Maker with the Azure keyword for the security and give back the answers. So let's jump into the demo here. All right, so this is our landing portal for our Microsoft users inside and outside, where they open up the portal and you can see it. They go here and they want to update their PO numbers or anything. However, the first thing they see is you have a chat available, and this is actually a bot. Now, there are times that people might not like a bot, because some people are like, yeah, I don't want to talk to a machine. I want to talk to an agent. So within the bot, what we did is, after the bot helps or may not help, allow the user to be able to connect to an agent to the Skype chat. It is changing to Teams very, very soon. But a user has the option that, hey, you know what, with the bot, I didn't get the answer. So I'm just going to talk to a person because I like talking to a person and getting my answers. They have the ability. So we don't kill them by just saying, oh, you know what, you can just talk to the bot and go away. No, we actually connect to the agent, back to the agent, and make sure that they are able to finish their ask or the ticket what they want. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the bot. I had already opened the bot here. So let me try and see if I can close. OK, it knows my session. So I had to, let me try and refresh, see if it can pick up like a new session. What I want to show is that it knows my identity because I'm part of the Azure AD. It doesn't need to know or ask me for authentication. It actually logs me in automatically. All right, see that? I didn't use my username and password. So this is a single sign-on. It knows my name. It says, I'm a One Finance support bot. How may I help you? And it actually supports 32 different languages. You might have a user across the globe knowing German or Chinese or anything. They don't know English maybe, and this actually bot supports 32 different languages. And the best part is you write the KB article or the QnA Maker in one language, and it actually translates in automatically in the question of the language that the user is asking and gives the answer back. So we'll see that as well. So for now, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have to keep this in type. So what I did was to put in my question. I want to find the status of a PO. You can actually see it knows that I had a last request with the PO. And then it was able to find out that using my identity, I had asked the same question. It knows that would you like to use the same PO to get the status, right? So I'm going to say yes. It gives me a confirmation. See that it says the status of your purchase order is open. So it is still open. It has not been closed yet. And it is immediately asking for my feedback, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So I know that when my user is submitting a request, I know how many chats were successful. So I can actually go back and relate to what data or how the customers are using the chatbot. Now, I want to ask a question from the QnA Maker so you could see how the answer comes back. So over here, I've asked a question, how to submit an expense report. See that? The answer says, learn more on the expense report. It actually gives me a link to the video within the bot answer itself, right? Where is this coming from? This is in the QnA Maker. I'm going to switch to that. and show you how the QnA Maker looks like. So if you go to the Azure services and open the QnA Maker, I've already went into the knowledge base. Here is where I add a question. Here is where I give the answer. The way it works is the question is actually looked at as an intent. And my intent could be, I can ask the question a different way. How do I submit an expense report? Or where do I submit an expense report? I can change my question in multiple different ways, but behind the scene, it is actually using the language interface processing, where it knows what's the intent of a user question and gives the same answer. So it is so easy to add these questions, give an answer. Now think of a situation where you're running your operations with 1,000 agents, 2,000 agents, and you want to change a business process, right? And you want to tell the users, from today, you're going to tell the customers not to go here, but to go here, right? Something like this. And you go and tell these agents, they are trained, and they're like 1,000 people. To learn that specific change, it might take so many days. Replace them with the bot. You take 5 minutes to put in the question, train the bot, it will know everything right away. You don't have to worry about training the 1,000 agents. Let's see an example, right? So I'm going to add a question. So I'm going to add a question, why is the sky blue here? And then I'll give an answer. Why is the sky blue? Because it is, right? I'm just going to give an answer. I'm just testing. So I'll go ahead and save this, and I'll click on train. So what it is doing is, it is taking the question, training the machine learning model in the backend, and preparing the bot to be with this answer, right? So you could have a valid question you are asking and training the bot. So it's just take a few minutes to change the KB article. And then I could actually go back and test to make sure it works. Now, while this is happening, okay, it's already done. But let me jump back into the language demo quickly here. So let's say, what's a common language everybody speaks apart from English here? Like, should we try German? Works? Okay. So I'm just going to use the Bing translator here. And I'll say, I'm typing, I want to change the language. This is how you change the language in the bot. You don't have to say what language you want. You just type that language in the language you want to change. So I've typed this. And then I'm going to copy this thing in German because I don't know German. I'll go back to my bot. And then all I do is give this message, hit enter. There you go. The bot understood that I typed in German. It actually is saying me, hello, my name, and something in Germany. I don't know that, right? So it knows. Now let's try the same question what we just did before in English, where I asked how to submit an expense report, right? Let's see the answer. So I've typed the same thing in German. Okay. There you go. The same answer was the short video. I mean, I don't know what it's saying, but I know that it said the same thing in English, right? You had the link to the video. You had this is the MP4 file you can see. That's the same link that we got when we asked the same question in English. The point is, I did not write an answer in German language or made a question. I only have this question in English. The language translation is looking at my language, converting it, and giving the answer. That's cool about it, right? Okay, so let's go back to our QnA Maker. So you just saw that I added a question, and I trained the model, right? Now I'm going to go and ask the question. And I'll say, I'm asking, why is the sky blue? So you saw that I actually gave the question, and I gave the answer. And I got the answer because it is. So this is simple logic. I gave the question, I got the answer. Now I'm going to change the question in a different way, and let's see what happens. So I changed my question, but my answer is same, right? Because behind the scene, the bot is trying to understand the intent of the question, not exactly trying to say that, okay, you have asked a different question to me, I'm going to give you an answer. So whatever the user might actually ask a question in a different way, it can actually understand and give the answer from that QnA Maker that you just have published the article. So that's the beauty about QnA Maker and the ability for us to push the data, make the operations work so quickly. So we are nowhere using knowledge-based articles now. Every time we have a change in the business, every time there is a new process that comes in, every time there's a new technology, all we do and tell our users, go and talk to the bot, we publish the Q&A changes, and then it works from here. I'm going to quickly jump on to show you how the architecture looks like. So if you go to the Azure bot service, here is the example of how we are making it work. So you have the intake channel, which is a PC or a mobile device or anything that a user can come with. You talk on Azure, you actually have the Azure directory for the authentication. You use the Azure bot service. This is the LUIS, which is the language understanding protocol, which works with the QnA Maker, and then you integrate with the app services inside your application. Now, you can also have your external application like SAP or any other ERP systems to talk to the bot and give them the answer. So I can actually have the ability to specifically get answers to the question, not only just from the KB article, also from the app that can actually pull up from a third-party app, from any other app. So that's the extensibility of the bot itself.
Thanks, Azhar. Wasn't that cool? So I know we started 3 minutes late, and we want to make sure. Thank you. So where are we going from here? So this is the last slide. We just wanted to talk about if you have been attending the sessions on business applications, and especially on the customer engagements and omni-channel. Most of what you saw is now actually being released in the October release as part of the omni-channel features. So we will be looking at how do we adopt those features into the One Finance framework. We're also looking at the ML scenarios. So most of the times when these users are submitting the cases, they are either happy or they are frustrated. And we want to make sure we understand the sentiment of the users when the ticket comes in so that we can escalate or de-escalate the tickets based on the sentiment. And then lastly, we are looking at how do we continuously archive some of this data. Because of the volume, as Azhar described, 3 million tickets or cases a year, the data volume is huge. We do have 2 more sessions tomorrow at 10:45 and 2:15, which is going to talk about the machine learning in terms of how we have eliminated the gatekeeping function, or we have enabled the auto triage features. And there is another cool one on the cognitive services working with Dynamics 365. So if you are around, please try to attend those. And lastly, please take the eval sessions. We take the feedback from our audience and try to improve. So your feedback is very important. Thank you so much for attending. Thanks.